My first guest is calling in right now, and I believe I am joined with the wrestler formerly known as Simply Divine, now Sienna Duvall.
Yes. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing real good. The last time I talked to you was actually at November, the eve of Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Uh, so it's been a long time, but thank you for being back on the show.
Thank you for having me back on the show.
Absolutely. I've been keeping track of you since then, and I've seen your transformation from Simply Divine, now Sienna Duvall, and I want to start off with that. What made you go with the name change?
You say that last word again?
What made you change your name for Simply Divine to Sienna Duvall?
It was time for a change, and I kind of grew away from Simple Divine. It wasn't her anymore, and I developed a whole other wrestling side of me that I didn't know I had. So um, I just went with it. I took a name from a movie star and another kind of adult entertainment star, put it together, and ran with it.
All right, and how, how does she compare to obviously the character development? I mean, how's that coming along with the name change?
It's been incredible. It's been a part of me that wanted to come out, but I was scared to like let out. I didn't know if it was okay. I didn't honestly know what to be. I was confused. I knew what I didn't want to be, and that's the gimmick, the diva beater. I didn't want to be a diva. I didn't want to, you know, pull hair and all that kind of stuff like that. I wanted to fight. I wanted people to take me seriously. But I knew that not only did my name have to change, but my look had to change. Everything about me had to change. And I definitely did change everything about me. The only thing I didn't change was my initials, the SB initials, because people still know me from that. Um, it's very similar to the San Diego Padres SB symbol. So I wanted to make sure that I kept the SB symbol, but I just kind of evolved away from Super Divine, who was kind of like a ballet. She was never really a wrestler. She was a ballet, and that knew how to wrestle. And I wanted to get to the wrestler who can be a manager and be effective in the ring rather than just be a girl that can dress up, look pretty, and be eye candy. So once I changed it, to Sienna, started fighting even harder, started promoting harder, changed my look, changed the way that I dress. It's a lot sexier now, but it's still, the same thing remains the same, is that I still will kick your ass, and that's it.
Hey, the name changed, but the outcome remains the same.
Mm,
Kicking ass and taking names.
exactly.
So, what's the reception that you've been getting from fans, promoters, your fellow peers, as far as this name change is concerned?
They love it. At first, a lot of people were like, why are you changing your name? And it actually came from Steve Carino. He saw me at a show in PA, New Era Federation, New Era Federation or something, Federation Wrestling. And he said, I like the way you wrestle, but I don't like your name. It doesn't fit you. You need to change your name. And he said, you need something more that's going to stick to you more. And I thought about it. I had a show in Rhode Island, and I was sitting there thinking about the name. And it was either going to be between Sienna or, um, I forgot the other name that quick, but it was between those two names that I was going to choose. And I chose Sienna, and I changed it, but it was almost like it was a process. I didn't change it immediately. I just started changing little things about me, the way I dressed or the way I wrestled or different moves I would make. And I would go on Twitter and say, it's time for a change. Are you ready for a change? And I did it from November to January. January 31st was the day that I changed my name. I changed it at the NWA Coastal show. Me and Casey Carlisle defeated Ida Marie and Kimberly, and that's how I changed my name that night. I announced it there and been rolling it ever since.
And for what I know, you got plenty of upcoming shows, especially in Florida. Talk about the show you got coming up this weekend.
Okay, well, that's for the NWA Ring Warriors in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's for the NWA Ring Warriors Battling Bombshells Women's Championship. Ugh, did that 5 times today. Um, and I'm facing La Rosa Negra, 9-year vet from Puerto Rico. She is the former WWC Women's Champion for Carlos Colon. And it's going to be a pretty good fight. It's not going to be a wrestling match, it's going to be a fight with just wrestling moves. So it's going to be pretty cool.
And I'm also hearing that you've been signed on to be on the upcoming Shine Wrestling show, Shine
Yeah,
3.
I'm very excited.
And that's become the fastest rising women wrestling promotion. When you think of the other companies like the WSUs and the Shimmers and so forth, I mean, how do you feel you get a chance to be a part of this show with a lot of talented female wrestlers?
Yes. Shine is basically just a company to Shimmer. So it's like the first step, and then it sparkled, then it Shimmer. So they're all together. And I'm very excited about it because it's the next level. It's basically, it's like a chapter closing. This show on the 15th in Bloomington, New Jersey, it's like the end of this chapter that I started with Sienna Duvall in January. Now the next one starts on the 22nd. Well, 21st, I'm sorry. I wrestled Santana Garrett. That's who I wrestled. And we've wrestled before, and I've defeated her before. So I know what she does. She knows what I do. And I also have a victory over her. So now it's going to be more of a fight because now she wants to beat me now. And for me to go to that show and then also do PWS's Glow organization on October 11th in New Jersey, it's going to be big for me. So I can't wait.
For those just tuning in, you're listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio right here on itmiradio.com. I am joined with Sienna Duvall. Be on the lookout for her in Fort Lauderdale, Florida this weekend for NWA Ring Warriors. She's got a big match coming up, so go out there and check it out. And I said this many occasions, and I'm gonna say it again. By all means, if you're a listener of this show, support your local indie pro wrestling shows out there. Because that's where it all started. I mean, your favorite wrestlers that you see on television, they didn't get that.
Came from here.
That's how they got started. They didn't got started from backyard. Or at least I hope not for some people. But that's how it started, and it's good to see wrestlers today that got their start from indie scene and starting to be acknowledged for what they have done and for their accomplishments. And it's good to see them moving up the ranks, to say the least.
Yes.
So I also hear that you've recently done some quote-unquote custom pro wrestling shows for Magnificent Ladies Wrestling, New England Female Wrestling. What made you decide to do that?
To help me wrestle better. And it's kind of crazy to say that, but a lot of times wrestling training is actually on the road. It's kind of a hands-on job. And I also wanted to get booked to other places. So the best way for me to do that is to do custom matches. And I met a lot of females that wrestle different ways and different people, learn some of the flaws that I had, and learn from them. And it's been fun. I've been able to travel a lot of places, and now I'm doing the Battling Bombshells custom Saturday morning before the show. So that's my third custom company. And it's a good business to get into. And I encourage all female wrestlers to do it. Just make sure whatever show you're going to do, that is legit, that it's not one of these companies where they want you to wrestle in mud and all kind of crap like that. Make sure it's respectable and have a respectable reputation before you do it. So I definitely encourage all wrestlers, female wrestlers, to do it.
Well, all I know is you got your slamming ladies, you got your magnificent ladies
Yes.
wrestling, you
Now I'm
have.
also doing same ladies too. I'm sorry. On the 22nd.
Oh, awesome. So
Yes, I am doing same ladies too.
now, well, let me ask you this: considering that you have done custom wrestling shows, you know how wrestling fans get to become bookers, they get to determine who faces who, the
Mhm.
storylines and all that stuff. You being a wrestler, uh, do you ever get a chance to know what from the scripts? Do you get a chance to read the scripts from the fans from the companies themselves?
Yes. The only way that we'll wrestle those matches is if we approve them first. So if you come on with some nonsense, more than likely I'm not going to approve it. But if it's feasible to do, it's safe to do, I will do it. But we don't sign on anything without reading it first.
I think I think that's good to know because you do want to give your fans what they want, but be respectful. Don't come up with any nonsense. No diva matches, no 3 4 minute
Right.
matches or anything like that. But I do like the concept of these matches. Fans get to determine who faces who, and if you don't get a chance to wrestle a lot of ladies,
Check it out on YouTube.
yeah,
There's previews on YouTube you can check out, and it's definitely worth the money. And we give you a show that you won't see on an indie show.
and
And then it also helps expose the girls too that haven't wrestled in that area. They might develop a fan overseas, never wrestled overseas there in their lives, and it might help them get over there. So it's a good thing to do.
I do want to point out I did purchase a match for New England. I think it was a match between you versus Taylor Hendricks, I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
You had a couple of matches with her. Obviously, you know that not only she's with OVW, but now she's the first female gut check winner. She's under contract with Impact as well.
right.
Obviously, gut check. I don't know. I like gut check, but there's just some things they need to tweak on as far as the people that they bring in and
hmm
so forth. Is that something that you would consider doing?
I definitely want to do the gut check, but I want to make sure that I'm in the right shape and mind and right shape of body to get there. I think some people who've done the gut check was not ready for it. I think Taylor was probably the most prepared for it, and it's a shame because she got nervous. Her nerves got to her, and kind of got rattled in the match a little bit. But if you take her match and put it against all the matches, she had the best one, if not one of the best ones. And I think she was better prepared mentally. The gut check is no joke. You have to make sure your head is in the right place in mind. You can't think, I'm going to here and nail this, and I'm going to get this contract and be a millionaire, and it don't work that way. You have to be humbled and know what you're doing and be respectful of the worker you're working because that guy is already there. He's trying to help you. So to be respectful of his position and take your time. But yes, I do want to do the gut check, but I just want to plan it out a little bit more before I apply.
And I will say this: Taylor Hendricks and Joy Wine are the only two. Where I also add Alex Silver, considering I'm from the Kentucky area. I watch OVW weekly. I think those are the only three that has impressed me the most. Joey Wine, he's definitely making a name for himself, even though he
Yes.
didn't win. And again, he was on Impact and got into a confrontation with Al Snow. Obviously, even though he didn't win his gut check tryout, clearly Impact liked him enough to still be around.
hmm
You being a fan, and do you think that the gut check contestants or maybe too caught up wanting to win the match, or just want to put out the best match they can possible?
As a fan looking at it, I think they are conflicted. I think that their nerves are getting to them so much that when they want to put out that good product, it's hard for them. You have the world watching you. You have the world judging you, and they're judging you on something they know nothing about. It's so much more than just the wrestling match itself and who you're working in that crowd. It's like you're being judged by the entire world. You're being judged by them. You're judging yourself. It's hard for them. It's hard for those guys and girls. So I think they want to put out the best work possible and win the match, but obviously they're not going to win the match with the gut check. So off the bat, anybody thinking they're going to win the gut check, unless it's scripted into that way, and then of course that's not a gut check. You're not winning. If you think that way, then you're kind of crazy to think that way. It's a tryout. So they want to put that best foot forward, and I think they are. It's just when you're wrestling, and that's even in indie shows, your nerve gets to you, and you start getting nervous, and you start getting, sweaty palms, and it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. And I just hope people understand it.
Now that you mention it, I mean, you've been wrestling for a while, and do you still get that nervousness that pops in
Every
prior?
single time. Every single time. If you don't get nervous, you need to hang up your boots. You should always be nervous. You always should be concerned about the performance you put on. Even if it's the worst one, at least you tried. My nerves always get to me, especially right before I go out. If I'm on deck, I start shaking. I feel like I'm going to throw up, get worried, and then I hit the curtain and it all goes away.
I definitely believe that is absolutely understandable. I mean, it's just like any other form of entertainer. Nerves being performed in front of an audience, no matter if it's 10 or 100 or 100,000. You're gonna be under a microscope, and people are gonna try to nitpick and everything. And I think that's unfortunate for some wrestlers, that they're so talented, and yet people still feel the need to nitpick at oh, you didn't do this right, oh, you didn't do that right, and yet the wrestlers, they know what it's like. And this is coming from fans and I guess quote unquote marks. I don't like using that word on that show, but I guess we'll call them marks. Just people who just don't understand unless they've been between those ropes. Or what it's
They'll
like.
never understand. And they'll always think that they know what's going on, and you don't have a clue.
So, other than the shows and everything you got going on, I mean, where do you want to go from here as far as Sienna Duvall? You want to still be more of a singles wrestler? You want to form a team or a stable? What's next for Sienna Duvall going forward?
Well, I'm still part of the Empire, 2-5 Empire. Right now we're in hiatus. We're all working separately, but we're still together. In 2013, we're going to come back and taking over like we were already. What's next for me is a slew of shows. Saturday, I'm wrestling in Fort Lauderdale, and September 15th, I'm wrestling in Bloomington, New Jersey for Indy Girls, so check us out. I'll be wrestling Cherry Lane. The 16th, I'm doing the New England female wrestling custom shoot. The 21st is Shine. 22nd is Family Ladies. The 29th is Nassau, Bahamas. Once again, NWA Ring Warriors will invade the Bahamas. October 11th, I'm wrestling for Blow. I'm not sure who my opponent is, but definitely check that out if you're on Wildway, New Jersey. The 12th, I'm wrestling in Millersville, Maryland. And I'm wrestling the ACW Women's Champion, Casey Carlisle. She's been a nemesis, and she's beat me every time that we wrestled. But she's always wrestled me as Simply Divine. She's never wrestled me as Sienna Duvall. And my whole wrestling persona has changed. And the way I wrestle has changed too. So it'll be a little bit tough for her to get me. She's a tough competitor. She's one of the best female wrestlers. I think one of the most underrated wrestlers. Um, Female wrestlers out. And that's good. That's basically it for me. Some photo shoots and trying to just keep getting my brand out there.
And obviously, your social media links have changed since you're under the name Sienna Duvall. And with
Yes.
that said, why don't you go ahead and promote your links, Twitter, Facebook, or any other links people need to know.
Okay, well, Twitter is Sienna Duvall 215. You can still find me under the Empress Simply Divine page. Facebook won't let me change it, but if you type in Sienna Duvall 215, you'll find my fan page. And I have a regular Sienna Duvall Facebook account that you can become a friend of and you can see everything I'm doing.
So pretty much anything on Facebook, Twitter, Sienna Duvall, follow her, check her out. If you are in the Florida area, check her out this coming weekend. Check her out in the upcoming Shine 3 going up against Santana Garrett, Florida girl. I'm sure Miss Duvall would like nothing more than to spoil her homecoming. So,
Oh, yes. I love to.
oh yes, and also the last time I interviewed you, we talked some other topics such as football. Um, Football season just started yesterday, so I gotta ask you, Miss Eagles fan,
Mhm.
what are your expectations for the Eagles this coming season, considering if Michael Vick were to stay healthy, of course?
Well, we have a second weapon in our second string quarterback, and I'm hoping that we can go 10-4. Something in my gut telling me we're gonna be 8-8. Only probably because I want Indy Reid to go, but I'm hoping that they're 10-4, and I'm hoping we at least get in the playoffs. I'm not going to say Super Bowl, but we do have a Super Bowl caliber team. With Michael Vick getting hurt, I'm a little disappointed because it seems like he's a little injury prone, but he's still a great player, and hoping that my offensive line stands up and help him out, and our defense hopefully become number one in the league, and take out Giants, take out Cowboys. Because last night, I'm sorry, they are not better than the Eagles. They already watched that game. That was just I don't know what the hell that was, but I feel like the Eagles will win their games against them. So I'm hoping for a 10-4 season, but I'm also hoping for Andy Reid to go. So that's where I stand with it.
You know, I think the Eagles would do just fine, and I feel like Andy Reid at this point, and I like Andy Reid. I think he's been a good coach,
I think so too.
but you let go of McNabb, you let go of Cobb, and Michael Vick is in his second $100 million contract. And, I mean, there's no more excuses. It's time for the Eagles to deliver, or else.
Right.
And you living in Philadelphia, I mean, they don't take losing very well, very
No,
hardcore.
we don't take it well at all. You know, between the Eagles and the Phillies, we fighting in this town right now. So I'm hoping Saturday night I can win a championship in Philadelphia and have a champion they can be proud of.
Well, I think I have more hopes for your Eagles more than others, but we shall see, and I'm definitely looking forward to the season. I'm hoping my
Yes, me too.
I'm hoping my Saints will do just fine despite the bounty scandal, but it's a matter of wait and see.
We'll see.
Well, yes, all I could do is if we can beat Wilder Griffin the third this Sunday, then I'm good. That
Right. There
is
you go.
he's a Wookiee. I wish the kid well, just not this Sunday. Can't root for the
I
brother.
hear you.
Uh,
I
well,
understand.
so Sienna, it was great talking to you. I'm proud
Thank you
of
too. I'm
you.
sorry. Thank you so much.
I'm
I'm,
proud.
I'm a little under the weather, and I've been like stumbling with my words a little bit. I apologize, but thank you for all your support. You've been supporting me from the beginning, so I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, and thank you for your time. You get well soon, and good luck in your matches going forward. And again, thank you for your time. You know you're always welcome to be interviewed.
Thank you so much.
You have a good
I
night.
appreciate it. You too, sweetie.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Sienna Duvall, under the weather, but she called in, talked some wrestling, talked some football too.